My name is Anne-Marie Edgar, and I'm the Executive Director of Make a Change Canada. Today is Thursday, September 7th, and this is our information forum, and we like to call this Find Your Fit at Make a Change Canada. Joining me here today are two of our staff, Mary Alton, who is our Employment Case Manager. Mary is calling in today from New Brunswick, where she resides. And Mary's also been with the organization for quite a long time, nearing 10 years now. So that's pretty incredible. I've been with the organization now for over 10 years. And the third staff member here in the room today is Kayleen Selick. And Kayleen lives in North Vancouver, British Columbia. Kayleen is our technology coordinator, and she's here today to record the session and to help out with any technical issues that may arise. Kayleen is actually a graduate of our web development program, and so it's really special to have her on our staff and amazing to work with her day to day as well. Now, we may have another of our staff join us a little later. It's one of our business coaches, Louise Doyle. And Louise is from Ontario, but she just had a call with a client at 1 p.m. her time, so she may pop into the room a little later. So don't get too distracted if she does pop into the session. But she may have some nice things to add to our session here today, so I invited her to come along regardless. So I'm hoping that I can call on Layla and Maria. Perhaps if you'd like to type in the chat area or just briefly come onto the microphone. I know you're both in British Columbia, but is there something that you're hoping to learn from today's session? Or what would you like to take away from today's session, or what's your reason for attending? So if you are able to, maybe just type a quick note into the chat area, and then that just gives us a little bit more feedback to go on from the beginning of the session. So I wanted to say that this is a new format for our information forum here today. Usually we have more breaks throughout the session for discussion and question answering. I'm just going to go through all the slides. We're going to try that out. If you have any questions that come to mind throughout the session, please feel free to type them into the chat area. And then we'll have a question and answer session at the end of the presentation itself. But please go ahead, feel free to type into the chat area. So Layla mentions that she's curious about her organization. Okay, well that's really great. It's an interesting organization, Layla, so that actually makes me really excited because I love talking about our organization. So we'll definitely share some good information about who we are here at Make a Change Canada. Now, Maria says she's looking for information and updates and what's new at Make a Change Canada. Okay, that's great, Maria. And Maria is actually a former participant of our program as well. So hopefully you'll have some reflections that you may be able to add as well, Maria. If anything comes to mind for both of you, if I'm mentioning a story and you can kind of relate to that person's story or what has been your experience with our organization, then that really adds a lot to our session here. Layla mentioned she would like to participate in Make a Change as well. Okay, that's great, and that's what this is all about. It's really opening the doors and welcoming you to our organization, and so we're here just to give you a lot of information about our programs in particular. So moving ahead then. So what we have here at Make a Change Canada are two online programs that we offer all across Canada. And one is the Online Business Abilities Program, which involves career exploration and career development. And then we have the Web Essentials Web Advanced program, which teaches online digital technology and design programs. And as well, something new at Make a Change Canada is a social enterprise. And what we're doing is we're developing the Rogers Fire Nuggets idea. And the idea here is to create meaningful job opportunities for all Canadians. So essentially, although we have great programs and we can serve a lot of people, there are certain people who do fall through the cracks, and neither of the programs are going to work out for certain clients. So we're going to have another avenue to help people out, which is to be involved in a social enterprise. So I just want to give you a bit of an overview of really our areas of operation. To begin with, but skipping back now to Make a Change Canada, and where did we come from? So how did Make a Change Canada originate? The organization was originally started through Community Futures British Columbia, and actually the local office here in Nelson, British Columbia. The organization was originally named Canadian Society for Social Development, or CSSD. And the programs of our organization actually ran through that office for a couple of years on a pilot basis, just within British Columbia. But then Community Futures recognized that these programs could become online and national, and they did not have the mandate to offer these programs themselves. So they started the separate entity, Canadian Society for Social Development, and that was in 2004. So that's why we have these awards listed in 2004. But the programs had already run for a couple of years, and they were recognized as being a great program, in particular the Web Essentials program, which is the online web development program. And in 2004, the program received a Minister's Award of Excellence in Innovation, and that was from Western Diversification Canada, and the National Award for Community-Based Learning Opportunities through the Conference Board of Canada. So that was really, really great, and a great start for the organization to have those awards behind us. Then in 2005, our organization gained charitable status. In 2008, we opened up the Web Essentials Web Advanced program to anyone. So the program initially began being offered only to people who self-identify as living with a disability. But in 2008, we opened it up to anyone who wanted to take the program. In 2015, there was another big step forward for our organization. We became a community coordinator organization under our funding agreement with the federal government. And what that means is that it gives us more capability to help our clientele in more ways than we previously could. For instance, if there's a rationale for some training that's going to be required and approval can be gained, then we can offer some training. We can provide some training to participants in our program. So that's really amazing change for our organization. And also in 2015, we changed our name to Make a Change Canada, and we gained national accreditation. And that accreditation is under the Imagine Canada Standards Program. And at that time, we were one of only 150 charities in Canada to have achieved that accreditation. So really, as you can see, there's not a lot listed in our history. I've got to say that our organization has been pretty consistent in providing the same programs, altering things a bit. What we've really been doing is maintaining the quality and keeping our programs up to date over the years. And I think, starting out as an entrepreneurial organization, that makes sense. We're very entrepreneurial as an organization ourselves. So we're always looking at new ways to adapt, but you can see that our progress has been very measured and taking it step by step by step. What's really neat about Make a Change Canada is that we're the pioneer in the field of online training offered to people facing challenges to employment. And to date, we've served over 2,000 clients through our programs. So turning to essentially in a nutshell, what our mission is here at Make a Change Canada. Make a Change Canada develops and delivers business startup and web technology training to people facing challenges to employment. This training is delivered from our program websites and features a self-paced and supportive learning environment. Through our online curriculum and our skilled and caring service teams, Make a Change Canada is empowering others to realize their full potential. Now, Mary Alton is pasting some links into the chat box that you may wish to click on just to learn a little more about our organization. Okay, so that brings us to the question, who takes our programs and why would they take our programs? So here we're showing our main online programs, which is Web Essentials, Web Advanced. And that program is open to anyone meeting eligibility requirements, whereas on the other hand, our Business Abilities program is open to anyone who self-identifies as living with a disability. So there's quite a difference there. One program's wide open to anyone meeting the eligibility, whereas the Business Abilities, specifically, the main requirement is that a client needs to consider themselves to be a person living with a disability. Now, there's no special paperwork required in terms of applying to the program, so that's a real benefit. Now, when we think about what we hear from applicants applying to the program, what really comes through as reasons why they're led to our programs is they want a flexible learning environment. We hear a lot that people want to increase their earnings. You know, people really want a reason to get up in the morning. I hear that a lot. So they come to us because they want to find that sense of purpose again in their lives. We do have entrepreneurs coming our way that are starting a business and they want to build and maintain their own website. So there's a real drive to eliminate the costs of hiring a web developer. They want to strengthen their skills, so we find that we have job seekers coming our way who want to sharpen up their resume, and so they're here for our training programs for that purpose. We have a lot of people who want to work from home. So although that isn't a requirement of participating in our programs, there are participants who go out and find jobs. There are participants who have businesses where they're actually not working from home but are out working in the community and so on. We do hear that a lot of our clients would like to work from home. And then we're hearing increasingly that the public is looking for quality programming and appreciating the individual service that we can offer through our programs. So I just want to mention that Louise Doyle, one of our business coaches, has come into the room, as I mentioned previously. So I just want to say hi to Louise. And I must say that a lot of the draw to our programs is, this is just a joke, but they come to us because they like frequent coffee breaks. And when you're taking an online program, you can take as many coffee breaks as you want. So I can just sort of speak for myself. I'm a big coffee drinker. So leading from there, what are the program benefits? What are the real benefits of our programs? Well, first off, Business Abilities and IBDE Web Essentials, Web Advanced are both online. That's really the huge benefit of our programs. But in addition, Business Abilities is a free program, so there's no charge to participate. And IBDE Web Essentials, Web Advanced is a fundable program as well. So really, the benefits stemming from that are that you can work when you can and when you want, and you can continue to meet your daily obligations. So we have clients who are parents. Some of our clients are parents of children with disabilities. We're seeing that more often. We're seeing a lot of our clients are people living with disabilities, so they need to work around their daily routine. Perhaps they have a lot of medical appointments, daily care. There could be mobility issues and so on. And an online program really allows our clientele to work around those daily life situations. We've also had some clients who are caring for their parents or family members. We have some clients who are foster parents and so on. So there's a lot of obligations that our clients have, and they're able to still participate in our program and meet their daily obligations. Another benefit of the program is that our clients can receive one-on-one assistance when needed, and we provide ongoing support. So we actually do have support staff that will follow up with clients, do some check-ins, and, just really lend that support that means so much to people. It's just always nice to get a phone call and say, hey, how are you doing? And, how's it going? And do you need anything at this time? And so on and so forth. Now, third, there's the opportunity to network with other participants in the programs and also to gain exposure for your work. So in terms of clients in our web development program, each year we have a website competition. So there's a great opportunity to showcase their work through the Web Essentials program. Finally, the programs allow people to maintain their freedom. This is really interesting. We see clients who are able to move between homes with really little disruption to their learning, or move to a brand new city. That happens quite regularly. And we see clients being able to pick up a job, and really it doesn't have a lot of impact on their participation. So it's pretty neat in that respect. So who are our clients, and what brings them to Make a Change Canada then? So there's really the full gamut, and I think that that's the best way to describe. Our client population is very, very diverse. So we're serving people right from youth straight out of high school to older workers, which is considered 55 and older now, but people right into their 70s. And so there's a huge range of age. We're also serving people who are university graduates, sometimes with their master's, sometimes with their doctorate, with a university degree, a college education, and then right through to individuals lacking formal education, perhaps just having a grade 8, grade 9, or grade 10 education. We're serving people who are both employed and unemployed. And we're serving people who are in rural and remote areas as well as urban centers. Finally, we're serving individuals who are experienced entrepreneurs. We get some really savvy clients coming our way who have already been involved in businesses previously, to those who are fresh at it and really need to discover whether self-employment is actually a good fit for them, and go through all those baby steps along the way to moving towards being an entrepreneur. So beginning with the Business Abilities program, I thought I'd present that program before I talk about Web Essentials, Web Advanced. Business Abilities is really comprised of 4 different components, mainly the Business Abilities website, where participants can read the materials online, watch training videos, and have a multitude of resources and valuable business links as they work through the program. And as well, from the website, the participants work through a set of worksheets, quite a number of worksheets, but the real neat thing is once those worksheets are completed, it forms the solid basis for pulling in a business plan. So all the work's been done by participating in the program to put a business plan together. We also have webinars on a weekly or twice weekly basis here in Go to Training with staff and guest presenters putting on presentations. Finally, I think what really tops off the program, and it's what we hear the most that's valued in the program, is our business coaches. I do have to say that we have fantastic business coaches in the Business Abilities program. Our business coaches are experienced entrepreneurs. You know, they've been out there, they've tried a number of businesses, they know what it's like to see something work or something fail. And they're supportive, and they're there to provide ongoing feedback and to review business plans and financials in all the worksheets. So that really spells out the individualized service that we provide with really qualified staff providing that one-on-one service. A little bit more about the Business Abilities program. In detail, the program is broken up into a phase 1 and phase 2, and phase 1 is made up of modules 1 through 8, and phase 2 is just strictly phase 2. It's this business startup phase. So our clients begin really by looking at doing some career decision making and looking at whether employment or self-employment is the better option. So I do want to stress that we don't expect that to be eligible to participate in Business Abilities, a person has to be 100% set on being an entrepreneur. It's really necessary to do that self-reflection, to look at what resources you have, what finances you have, and perhaps the physical ability to start a business, whether that's actually going to be possible. So that's where it all starts, is by looking really long and hard at the decision of whether to proceed with being an entrepreneur. And then if a person decides that they would like to proceed and further investigate a business idea, then there's an in-depth module, module 2, on doing all the business research. And this is really neat. We're firm believers in the business research. It's not just to form some facts and figures, but there can be a real benefit of doing research because the participants are actually speaking to other businesses in the community, speaking with potential clients, and actually, in a lot of cases, securing in advance some promises for customers down the road. So people saying, yes, if you were to start your business, I would likely hire you. So this really leads, in the end, to a strong business plan when a client can feel well assured that they're going to actually have some business once they hit the ground running with the business. Now, as I mentioned, clients sometimes decide that self-employment isn't a good option. So I want to mention that we actually have online resources to help those participants to conduct a job search, to prepare for becoming employed. The resume writing, studying up on interview questions, networking with others, just how to go about securing a job. So we can also lend that assistance. The clients who move forward with business planning, they moving through looking at all their pricing, looking at what sort of a business to form, whether they should be incorporated or a sole proprietor. We look at partnerships and franchises. Also, for those planning to work from home, there's a module on home-based businesses. And we move then into teaching about sales and service, and finally pulling the financials together. And then once that's completed, participants pull their business plan together in Module 8. So then our clients move into the business startup phase, and within that part of the program, there are some self-led tutorials as well, which are how to build a quick website and how to build a web store. So those are some nice goodies in phase 2 that are available to our participants. Eligibility is always a big question for our applicants to the program. So I wanted to outline the eligibility specifically for the Business Abilities program. Specifically, the biggie is that to be eligible, a person must self-identify as having a permanent physical or mental disability that restricts their ability to perform daily activities. They must be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident or a person who has been granted refugee status. They must be legally entitled to work in Canada. They must require assistance to prepare for, obtain, and keep employment or self-employment. They must have a working computer and a reliable internet connection. But I have to mention that we don't want to see that as a barrier. We're here to provide support. If a person has a broken down computer, then we wouldn't want to discourage a person from applying to the program, because we do have some resources available to help in that regard if necessary. They must have the ability to read and work in the English or French language. They need to be committed to working in the program with their business coach and moving through the curriculum. And then finally, there's a stipulation, because this program is funded under the EI Act, that if a client has been on EI within the last 3 years or 5 years in the case of maternity EI, then they wouldn't automatically be approved to participate. But I've got to say that we're able to, on an applicant's behalf, request an exception, and that's actually easily granted to allow the participation in the program. So again, I just really want to encourage anyone interested in the program to go ahead and apply, and we're here to really assist through the intake process. So specifically, because our clients in the Business Abilities program all must self-identify as living with a disability, it's really interesting to look at specifically what the predominant disability types are, or what the range of disability types are that our applicants are disclosing. So you can see here from this visual that there are a lot of people with mental health issues. There's a lot of anxiety specifically among our clientele. There's depression, bipolar disorder. What we also see a huge predominance of are mobility issues. So there's injuries. There's a lot of people with injuries, spinal cord injuries, back injuries, sore backs, just pain. And amongst a lot of our clientele, there's a lot of chronic pain. And it's actually shocking, mobility issues and chronic pain. But then I've got to say that we serve the whole range of people living with disabilities. So you can see here sleep disorders. There are clients come to our program who are deaf or hard of hearing. There are clients who are blind or have limited vision. The whole gamut. So you name it. You can see fibromyalgia there. There'd be MS, heart disease, and just really any specific disability type you can think of. We've probably served people in our program with that disability type over the years. So I mentioned here a notation, pain plus income and quality of life. So these images, these word arts that I'm using in the presentation come from an in-depth study that we completed on the Business Abilities program in 2013-2014. We had a professional researcher looking into the program and the clientele and what our clientele had to say. And literally, the outcomes, her findings left my hair standing on end in a couple of cases, because what she was reporting in terms of the income of our clientele was that 67% of our clients were living on $1,000 a month or less. And that's shocking. That's very, very little money. And then the high incidence of chronic pain. Again, we were in, the 70 to 80% range of participants reporting that they were living in chronic pain or severe chronic pain daily. Yet, she measured how these same individuals were assessing the quality of their lives, and they were reporting that they enjoyed their lives a large degree or over the top. They were happy, they were satisfied in their lives, felt like they were leading a great quality of life. So it just doesn't seem like that puzzle pieces should fit. If you're living in poverty and in pain, how can you consider yourself having a great quality of life? But I think it just, that just really speaks to who our clientele are and who's coming to our program. So really positive thinking individuals who, like I said earlier, want a reason to get up in the morning to have some value. They want to earn some extra money. And you know what? A lot of our clients are entrepreneurial and they just really have that drive. So I just think that's really interesting to outline. Really gives some good insight into the clientele in our programs. So before I move into the Web Essentials Web Advanced program, I'm wondering if, Louise, if you're feeling ready, if there's something that you feel I've missed, or if there's something you'd like to reflect on a little further in terms of your work as a business coach with participants in the Business Abilities program.
Whoops, here we go. Okay. Thank you. Emery, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. I don't know if you can see my web, but anyway, so thank you very much. I guess really just to sum it up, for starters, I absolutely love being a business coach. I've been doing it for 15 years. What I really love is that I get to help people design a work-life balance that really works for them. I love that the program, it's self-paced, it's flexible to your very particular needs or challenges, and that any of the training that you get, it's one-on-one coaching and mentoring. And as Emery mentioned before, from professional business coaches, we didn't just read a book on business coaching. We've lived it, done it, been there, breathed it for many, many, many years. So absolutely love helping people move forward. I guess if I were going to just say anything, I would say that whether you're ready for self-employment or you're not sure whether your idea is viable, please give us a call and we can have a chat, because the bottom line is really that the skills you gain from being self-employed, you carry with you for the rest of your life. And in fact, should you decide not to take the self-employment route, that makes you far more marketable should you decide to get back into the workforce. And lastly, I guess I would just want to mention that the application process is absolutely an easy 3-step process. And if any point they need help, there's certainly, we're available to help you, walk you through the process. So please feel free, give us a call and we can chat about your dreams, your goals, and where you would like to go.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I certainly couldn't have thought of all those benefits. So thank you so much for what you've been able to add, Louise.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm going to turn now to the Web Essentials Web Advanced program. And as you can see, the logo specifies IBDE. And I'll just briefly note that the history of this program is that it was initially only for those pursuing entrepreneurship. So the IBDE stands for Internet Business Development for Entrepreneurs. But essentially we've moved away from that because especially in the last 5 to 7 years, there's been so many more of these students pursuing specifically employment. So it isn't just about entrepreneurship at all. So Web Essentials Web Advanced We have 2 programs under this umbrella, a 6-month Web Essentials program and a 4.5-month Web Advanced program. The Web Essentials program is 9 courses over 6 months, and in the Web Advanced there's 4 courses over 4.5 months. There are certificates for both the programs that we issue, and the program fees are $3,995 for the Web Essentials and $465 for the supply fee. And Web Advanced, the cost is $495 per course. The Web Advanced courses may be taken individually or as a group. So, there's a bit more flexibility under the Web Essentials program. The thing about the programs is that they are supportive online programs. So that's, again, really our trademark. That's really what defines us, is the support that we provide. But I think it's always important just to remind everyone that this is what classifies these programs as being different. The courses in the programs under Web Essentials, there are, as I mentioned, 9 courses, right from an orientation to the program through a basic introduction to the internet, starting with proper site theory and design. We have 2 Photoshop courses, so in this regard it really is a design or web design program, but we're also teaching the coding, the HTML and CSS coding. And then under our next course, IBDE 112, Site Design with Libraries and Frameworks, we're teaching Bootstrap, which is the absolute latest technology. And then we're also teaching under IBDE 114, Website Marketing and Maintenance. So it's important that our students not only can build a fabulous, smashing website that has the great functionality and is built well, but they also need to learn how to draw traffic to their website. So that's what IBDE 114 is all about. And finally, the really neat thing about the program is that there is a curriculum component. In IBDE 116, each student builds a final project website, and that's under the guidance of the instructor. So it's a really complete and comprehensive program that meets a lot of strict criteria as well. The Web Advanced program is made up of 4 courses. There's a 2-course series, IBDE 202-204, which is PHP and MySQL programming, which must be taken as a 2-course series. As well, we have the standalone tools for SEO, and that's more of the web marketing, knowing how to make websites, draw traffic, and just really gearing them to be profitable websites. And then our final course is IBDE 209, Blogging for Business. And in this course, students are configuring a WordPress website, and specifically they're integrating a blog with that website. So again, it's similar, where in a sense there's a curriculum project as well, a final project for the advanced program. This is the really neat thing about what's happening in our labor market right now, and specifically how our programs are building skills that are essentially needed by today's employers and by business today. There's really actually getting to be a skills shortage. And labor market reports such as this one that I've quoted here are coming out with quotations like the demand for IT skills is rising at an unprecedented rate. I've seen other figures like 220,000 workers will be needed by the year 2020. So there is a shortage of individuals, and we happen to be training students in these necessary skills. So we're training them to work in the digital communications field. So what's really interesting is when we think of the program historically, we weren't looking at it as a labor market program, but I started talking to a lot of graduates about 5 years ago, and just really doing some in-depth interviewing. And what we were hearing is that people were getting jobs, yes, in information technology, as we always thought we were training people for. So as a junior web developer in this sort of thing, as a webmaster, so somebody working specifically on websites, maybe doing some graphic design. But then when we really talked to people, we found that they're actually getting better jobs in the administration field as a result of taking the IBDE program. So there's employment working as communications coordinators, virtual assistants, technical customer service rep, webinar assistant. So this is really a great benefit of taking the program, is to update a resume and to be able to go out and get a good job in administration and outshine the competition and be successful in getting a job. So now another career stream, we're finding clients coming to us with a background in marketing and communications. So for instance, we've had clients who have worked as event coordinators, people who have arranged conferences, worked as consultants, worked, say, putting print material together in the traditional manner. But where they were lacking is that they didn't have what customers and employers today desire, which is really the full offering. They want the digital to go along with the on-the-ground organizing the event. They're going to want the website, the digital materials, all the social media. So this is a really great career stream as well that we're seeing our graduates follow. And again, typically we still do have entrepreneurs coming to the program to develop their business website. So we see successful website owners, small business owners specializing in communications and social media, and e-commerce advisors as well. So quickly, the eligibility for the IBDE program, it's a really flexible intake, so it is very accommodating. The whole idea here is to give people what they're lacking in order to re-engage with the labor market, either through employment or self-employment. So there are not a stiff entrance requirements, and that's actually in contrast to a lot of web development programs that an applicant may have to face a panel of 5 professionals and present a professional portfolio and go through a stringent interview and really be cherry-picked from the competition, not to mention having to pay a very high tuition fee to get into one of these programs. Whereas with our program, we're just looking for a grade 12 education as a minimum. And what we're really looking here is for a specific interest in moving into this field. We require basic to intermediate level computer skills. Again, a student must have a suitable computer, but again, we do have ways to help if a person doesn't have that on hand. And then really importantly, it's important that an applicant can demonstrate that they're going to be able to commit themselves to the study schedule to be ultimately successful in graduating from the program. So although we do require a grade 12 minimum, we will accept certain applicants into the program on a mature student basis if they show that they have overall an equivalent combination of education and experience. Now, for the Web Advanced program, eligibility there means that an applicant must have completed the Web Essentials program first, or an applicant must be established as a web developer. And even then, overall, they do need to be able to demonstrate that they have a really solid knowledge of HTML5 and CSS. So those are the coding. They have to be solid in their coding as a prerequisite to be successful. And for those who it's questionable whether they've got the prerequisite. Then the instructor, the educational staff will do an assessment based on submission of a number of completed websites that applicant has built. Okay, so finally with IBDE, the program features here are that the curriculum is structured, and that's actually a benefit of the program. It's really orderly and scheduled in over the program timeline. We have live classroom sessions where instructors are teaching the theory, the practices live. We also have a lot of video tutorials. All of the courses are based on videos. And finally, the practicum component of the program is a real bonus. The application process for the Web Essentials program is completing an online application, completing a basic computer skills assessment, followed up with a 30-minute telephone interview. I've got to say that the majority of our applicants are successfully accepted into the program. So, you know, it really is an accessible program for anyone interested in applying. We have some upcoming intakes. In January 2018, we'll run the Web Essentials program. July 2018, we'll run the Web Advanced. And the really special thing about this coming year is that for the very first time ever, we're going to run one of our Web Essentials courses as a standalone, and we're offering that to prior graduates so that they can upskill to the latest technologies in the field. So we're going to be offering that and opening it up and just running that one course in October. So this is interesting. It's really nice to get a visual of participants coming to our programs and what really defines them as individuals. Our programs are really successful in terms of the numbers of clients graduating successfully, the number of participants successfully completing the curriculum and starting businesses or becoming employed. So what is it specifically that makes our clients predetermined for success? So if we look at our client population, generally we can say they're talented. A lot of our clients may have written books, or you will be talking to them and they say, oh, I've written poetry, or you find out that they're a filmmaker, or they've been writing music. It's absolutely astounding the innate talent among our client population. A lot have been digital and physical artists, so painters, craftspeople, knitting, sewing, you name it, wood carvers. So there is a big predominance of talent among our participants coming our way. Our participants, I've got to say, are also solidly determined. They come on a mission. They strongly commit to a plan, and they, if at all possible, they stick it out and complete the programs with high levels of success. Our clients are also, I have to say, savvy. So oftentimes our clients are educated, but I've got to say that even if our clients don't come to us with a prior education, I find our clients are great communicators, they're great at keeping in touch, and they're really technically inclined. But the thing about our clients is, why do they come to us, is because in some way they're stuck. They're stuck at getting that start in the direction that they want to move forward in their lives. So really that's what we're here for. Our clientele includes youth, as I've mentioned. We serve Indigenous people. We serve clients who are members of the LGBTQ plus population, older workers caring for parents. So there's just a huge gamut, and you know, I would say 95% of the clients coming to our programs report some sort of barrier in their lives that's preventing them from moving ahead in their careers. So I'd like to lead into the beginning of the end of the presentation by outlining some success stories, clients who have moved through our programs and what their thoughts are, what they've achieved, and sort of what some of their backgrounds are and what led them to our organization in the first place. So this is Colin. Colin is from Surrey, British Columbia. And we've known Colin for many, many years, back from 2006. So it's been over 10 years that we've really known and worked with Colin. So Colin is a wheelchair user. He was injured as a teenager, and he always had an interest in computers. So that led him to working for a nonprofit in his community. The problem with that was Colin was having to commute an hour and a half each way to his position, and he had actually secured a supervisory position in a computer lab, but he was finding that the commute was dragging his health down. It was impacting his health, and it was really uncomfortable, so he was having to look for an alternative. So he saw an ad of ours on TV and discovered the Web Essentials Web Advanced program and became a client in the program. Today, Colin is a successful web programmer. He's a web builder. And in addition, over the last couple of years, Colin's worked with us as a peer tutor and most recently as an educational assistant. So he's a great addition to our team, and it's, like I say, it's been a long relationship. It's been wonderful, and Colin's particularly great working with our clients because he's a graduate of our programs himself and is super empathetic, and really he's really strong in web development. So what Colin had to say about taking the program is that since taking the IBDE course, I have become more proficient and confident in developing websites. I have developed numerous websites since my graduation, and even my clients are impressed with my work. If it weren't for the IBDE course, I don't know what I would be doing as a career. The IBDE course and instructors have given me confidence and knowledge, which have shaped my career as a successful freelance web developer. So Colin, as I said, started with us back in 2006, 2007, and completed both of the IBDE programs. Here's another client of ours. This is Cam. Cam is from Ontario. And Cam's story is more of a career journey as opposed to a business launch. So it's always nice to take a look at some of the different outcomes, both in terms of finding a job or starting a business. So Cam completed both of our IBDE Web Essentials and Web Advanced programs in 2013. In the Web Advanced program, Cam ran into some difficulties in terms of having some health challenges. And the really great thing was that our program is flexible. We were able to lend some understanding and an open ear and come up with a special plan for Cam to allow him the flexibility to successfully complete the program and graduate. So that was a real bonus. Now, Cam specifically, his disability that he's living with is bipolar disorder, which is really an extreme disorder to have to live with day to day. And I've got this web address here, cam.majorminor.ca. And I'd like to encourage you to visit Cam's website, or in fact his blog, because he writes about living with bipolar disorder with such, it's so vivid that it gives you an idea of just how, I've got to say, scary a disorder it can be, how debilitating, and his experiences that he went through that were literally frightening for himself and for his family. He talks about supports and recovery. He really is giving and sharing so much vital information. So I do recommend that you do look at his website, and he has some wonderful interviews as well that he's done with his aunt, Ann Minor. So this is what Cam had to say after he successfully graduated. After notifying a job coordinator of my completion of IBDE's program, I received a job posting via email Tuesday. I contacted the company Wednesday and landed an informal interview the same day. I had a 15-minute meeting with the head of the company in the afternoon and started 8 a.m. the next day for a work trial. I finished a simple project for the company my second day today and made some good progress on a second project. At the end of the day today, I found out I will be officially able to start on Monday, November 4th. Looks like finishing school in a highly popular field was a great choice. I want to thank all of you for your guidance and support throughout the past year. Completing a college program after failing to finish my university education was a great accomplishment for me. You have all been a really big help. I spoke with Cam about 6 months ago, and I was able to catch up on where his career journey has led him since. So he continues on, always striving, never giving up, and he had 2 jobs that he had just landed. One was doing outside sales for an inbound marketing company. So get that, outside sales, inbound marketing. But yeah, he was selling some specialized technology, basically doing cold calling and whatnot. That was one of his jobs. And his other job, he was working 1 day a week as an end user support person on the 21st floor of Canoe Financial in downtown Toronto. So he was absolutely thrilled. I was really thrilled for him. And so, you know, what a wonderful job to land, and what a great outcome. So, you know, I'll look forward to continuing to keep in touch and see how Cam's doing in his journey over the years. My last sort of in-depth look at a client is another business launch, and this is Elaine. Elaine's from British Columbia. She completed the Business Abilities program in 2017, and she's successfully opened up a storefront selling her hand-carved creations. And you can see her store set up and a bit of a close-up on some of the technology there, and as well a close-up on her amazing work. And this is something that her business coach wrote up. We wish Elaine much success as she completes her business plan and opens her doors to a busy tourist season. Elaine really made it through the program in record time, and she really had that initiative to open in time for the tourist season. So what a great accomplishment. So what do our clients say? What do our clients value in what we offer, and what do our clients look for? What's important to them? So this little visual here again came out of our research study, and these are the actual words of those who participated in the study. They described our coaches on these terms. So starting at number 1, of course, they're looking for clients who are educated, experienced, and expertise. Of course, that's what everyone wants in those helping you develop a business. But some really interesting notes came out that really astounded me. So, of course, they appreciate that our coaches listen and are supportive. Moving along, are patient and understanding, that we're accepting. But this one really got me, personable and kind. And I think that that's really amazing. You look out on the fingers of this visual and you see kind. And not only is that valued, but that's something that I'm really proud to say that our coaches are providing in their service. So, you know, it's really a standard that we strive. It's our values to provide this sort of caring service. And it's something that as we grow in future years, none of us want to let go of this. This is so important for us as well, that we're able to be a caring organization and not just start thinking of our clients as numbers and acting in that manner. So I think I hope you enjoyed that, because I think it's pretty special to get insights from people who have been through our programs and get that sort of insight. So something personal in my experience is that it probably wasn't until about 3 years ago that I began to think of our program sort of not only in terms of the labor market and career goals and graduation rates, technology. I was in a meeting in the local community, and the focus of that agency meeting that day was poverty in the community. And I had the opportunity to listen to what other service providers were saying. And then I happened upon these testimonials, particularly Kalinda and Willie. And it really struck me that our program as well is helping towards poverty alleviation. And so I just want to read these testimonials to you because I think they're really super touching. And I really think that the people contributing these testimonials were almost taking a strip off of themselves and being really honest, and it really gives us some good insight into the deeper value of the work that we're completing each and every day here. So Kalinda from British Columbia said, "It has been very difficult to come to terms with the changes in my life since the accident that left me with a brain injury 3 years ago. Programming in a quiet room is one of the few options I have now to contribute financially in my home. With this training, I have also been able to participate again in the business my husband and I built over the last 14 years. We are now able to offer web design as an option for our customers." And then Willie from Saskatchewan said, "The program was very detailed and instructive. The program helped us tremendously, and it will help us make a living. Being a disabled person, I need that because I can't go out to work. This program allowed me to set up a home-based business for me and my wife to work at home." This is a little more recent, but Rita from British Columbia says, "I just wanted you all to know and be encouraged that your amazing programs and support all these years has made all the difference and so life-changing for me. I am so grateful you gave me the opportunity and so amazed at how far I have come." And she really has come a long ways. She's been self-employed for a number of years. I would say Rita's had more of a career journey. And now she's moved officially into being a web developer. And the really nice thing is she's got a programmer in the community mentoring her. And she's able to help him out by doing some of that design work, that development work, while he can focus on the programming. But he's teaching her as well. So it's a huge success story for Rita. Back to Make Change Canada a little more closely here, and this is our latest initiative, which is to start a social enterprise. Social enterprise is defined by really a venture that is not only earning money as a desired outcome, but also generating a social good, so giving back to society. And a social enterprise would really measure how much of a benefit is being given back to society and measuring its own success, gauging its success on what it's giving back. So we are working on starting a social enterprise called Rogers Fire Nuggets. And I've just got a few bullets here. The idea here of Rogers Fire Nuggets is to have those employed in creating them who really have a lack of supported employment opportunities that cater to their individual needs. Also, another nice thing about the nuggets is that we are using recycled materials that would otherwise be discarded, and we're creating an eco-friendly product. We're also looking to community partners to perhaps make some donations of the raw materials, and in that way corporations can enhance their profile as being good corporate citizens. Now, the Fire Nuggets were originally developed by John Rogers, and he is a resident of Nova Scotia who was originally one of our Business Abilities participants. So on his own, he's never really taken his business idea where he has wanted to. So we're partnering up with John, and really he's really happy because what he would like to see come of this is having his idea bring benefit to other people. So there you go, Maria. That's I know you were looking for what's going on at Make a Change Canada and what's new. So that's something that's really exciting for us these days. So leading into the last few slides, I want to outline that we are a national charity. We are working all across Canada on so many levels. And to those who are involved with us or would like to become more involved with us, whether you know us or just getting to know us, there's many ways to become involved. For instance, for our clients in our program, we have annual events. And through these events, it's all about celebrating the success of others. So first off, underneath here, under number 1, I'm saying that we have a desktop calendar. And so we each year produce a desktop calendar that features the work, such as this amazing painting, of actual clients in our programs, photographs, photography, artwork, digital art, and it's just really amazing. And we send this calendar out to partners all across the country, and I can tell you that the calendar is cherished. And I actually have some partners in the community looking up at me with eager eyes, and then when I give them the calendar, they say, oh, I was hoping I was going to get one. I've had partners calling me frantically and saying, where's my calendar, Anne-Marie? So that's something that if you're artistically inclined, we always would welcome your contribution to our annual calendar. Secondly, each year for students in our Web Essentials Web Advanced program, we have a website competition. And the really neat thing about this competition is it's not just for the current students, but we allow students from the very early years to still contribute their websites into the competition, so to still enter the competition. This year, we're going to run the competition as a Dragon's Den style, and we're looking for high profile individuals working in the tech sector to be our dragons. So if you know of any, you can send our way. We've got Chris Jarrett so far of Rainmaker Digital, who's agreed to be a dragon, but I'm definitely looking for more. So if you know any big players in the industry, please send them my way. Third, something we always appreciate from our clients, not only because we like to stay in touch and hear how you're doing, is that you can become a program ambassador. So that's always a way that you can help us out here is if you like what we do, if you believe in us, if you've had a good experience, please share the news, share your story, and we're always going to be welcoming your involvement with open arms. Finally, if you're a participant in our program, if you become a participant in our program, down the road, when you're more successful, when you've got your feet on the ground, come to us and say, hey, is there a student I could hire to design my logo? Or if you're a crafter, maybe there's another client that you can work with collaborating on production. So we've seen all of these sorts of collaborations occur. So don't put it out of your mind. Keep it somewhere in there, and we'll be happy to help facilitate some sort of relationship if possible. I do want to mention that it's really my duty that as a national charity, we do rely on donations. So keep it in mind if somewhere down the road there's a relative saying, gee, I don't know who I could donate to this year. If you believe in us, if you like the work we do, then please do suggest that we are an organization that relies on donations, and we certainly appreciate the help that we get. It helps us develop as an organization and provide a greater level of support to clients in our programs. You can also become a volunteer. So consider volunteering either individually or joining one of the teams that we start up. So it helps us grow and develop as an organization so that we can provide better support to people facing employment challenges. Some of the volunteer projects we've had over the years have involved forming a national extravaganza. We had a whole team of volunteers working virtually from across Canada, from marketing, from lead development, from doing the social media. It was amazing. So that was one project. And then we also had a team of volunteers helping us with our accreditation. And that was more the bookish work, developing documents, a lot of meetings and some writing there as well. So that was really great working with these teams. There's also opportunities for individual volunteering, transcribing videos for the deaf and hard of hearing. We need people to do French translations and also helping physically with mail-outs, such as for the calendar each year. Another way, something we always appreciate, is connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, both as a company, as a group, and we're also just getting Instagram up and running right now. Also, please join our email list. From our email list, we're going to send out some really exciting updates regarding the social enterprise, regarding the Fire Nuggets. We're going to be featuring volunteers, staff. We're going to be doing more success stories. So this is a way to receive these items into your in-basket. And also, we're going to be running a really, really neat campaign coming up in the new year. And we're going to be talking about what is success. What does success mean to you? So we really hope to engage both our staff and our clientele, and hopefully some of our supporters are board as well in this very important conversation. And it's really an intellectual conversation that is going to go in all sorts of directions. So I want to encourage you to be a part of this, just at least by following us and whatnot. Here are our contact information. This is our staff and board of directors. There's a lot of us pictured here. And we have a toll-free number, 1-888-927-7473. And on each of our websites, we do have contact links that you can always reach us through. So that's the presentation for today. I want to thank you very much for attending and participating. And I'm wondering if once we conclude on this last slide, if there's any questions or any discussion, now's the time, and we'll open it up for that to take place. So thanks again for attending, and have a great day.